Welcome to Spiritual Foundations for Life. This is day number 316. Jesus performed many miracles during his public ministry, and the apostles also performed many signs and wonders among the people, according to Acts chapter 5, verse 12. The occurrence of a sign or wonder reveals supernatural presence, but that presence may not always be God. Speaking of the latter days, Jesus said in Mark chapter 13, verses 2 to 23, and actually 22 to 23, false messiahs and false prophets will appear and perform signs and miracles to deceive, if possible, even the elect. So be on your guard. I have told you everything ahead of time. So ever since the fall, false prophets have plagued God's chosen people and caused them to really go off and serve other gods. Moses wrote in Deuteronomy chapter 18, verses 20 to 22, that for a prophet to be true, what he said would happen must come to pass. In fact, prophets were to be put to death if they spoke presumptuously. Okay, not if they just made a oops mistake, but if they spoke presumptuously, they were to be put to death. However, what about false prophets who performed signs and wonders, and they did come to pass, but then their message was to follow other gods? Well, another test mentioned in Deuteronomy addresses this issue. This was a test for God's people to find out whether they loved him with all of their hearts and with all of their souls, according to Deuteronomy chapter 13, verses 1 to 3. Such false prophets who failed these tests were to be stoned to death, and it was to be the members of their family who carried out the death sentence, according to Deuteronomy chapter 13, verses 5 to 10. Either the prediction was wrong or the message was wrong, but a wrong message was more effective, more offensive. Meaning, if you gave a prophecy but it was an error, that's bad. But if you actually gave a message that was to turn away from other gods, that was really offensive and had to be dealt with. False prophets could pollute an entire city. In such situations, the whole city was to be annihilated, according to Deuteronomy chapter 13, verses 12 to 15, when the whole city turned away from God. Obviously, the world has not followed this law, or a huge number of people and people groups would have to be wiped out even today. See, the church has no mandate to stone false prophets. Get me here. Jesus' church has no mandate to stone false prophets. But these Old Testament passages reveal how serious we must take the warning that there would be false prophets who would prove themselves by signs and wonders. There is no question that Satan and his demons can perform signs and wonders, and there is no question that the occult actually works. The real question, though, is whether the supernatural acts lead people toward or away from the one true God. There are con doctors and shamans and psychics and New Age practitioners who can all come under the spell of evil spirits and channel information about people and events that appear to be accurate. Undiscerning people, yes, including Christians, can be easily impressed by their spiritual insights and might assume that they're getting good spiritual direction. When the undiscerning receive guidance through the occult, they usually don't know that they're actually following other gods. The level of deception, I believe, will intensify before the Lord returns. In Paul's second letter to the Thessalonians, he warns them not to allow anyone to deceive them into thinking that the day of the Lord had already arrived. The Lord won't return until there has been a great falling away from the faith, and the man of lawlessness has been revealed, according to 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 3. The man of lawlessness will proclaim himself to be God, according to 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 4. And then in verses 9 to 10 of 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, it says these words, "The coming of the lawless one will be in accordance with how Satan works. He will use all sorts of displays of power through signs and wonders that serve the lie and all the ways that wickedness deceives those who are perishing. They perish because they refuse to love the truth and so be saved." What a warning for us. Do we love the truth or not? Love the truth. Love the truth. A key point today is that apostles performed signs and wonders, but so will false apostles and prophets and false messiahs. The key verse is Acts chapter 5, verse 12. The apostles performed many signs and wonders among the people. See you tomorrow for another episode of Spiritual Foundations for Life.